Welcome back to Kerbal Hard and Uncut. It is the 30th of March. It's almost the end of March. And last episode, we did a few trial launches and things like that. We got our impact sensors, made sure they were working, and then we put this up. I mean, nothing else to see in that episode apart from us launching this. Not just, if you haven't seen the episode, just cut out the first 7 minutes or so, because it's just me talking. We do some trials and stuff, but in reality, the last 7 minutes are the only bit you really need to look at. Yeah, we're in orbit, polar orbit, as we are. I've just realized that this is so overbuilt that actually I'm not going to. Originally, I was thinking after we'd launched, I was going to actually decouple this, but I'm now looking at the delta V on this thing and thinking, there's enough here so that once we've done stuff, once we've finished with this, we could potentially send this whole thing to the Mun or to Minimus, and we could attach it to something there. Now, I don't think we have the correct ports on those stations, but I could put an engineer on it and send the engineer with it, and I'm pretty sure the engineer could attach a port, or we could attach a little docking port to this, possibly. And then, of course, these guys would just leave on their little escape pod, and the engineer and the craft would go wherever it's going. So that is an opportunity. Right, we also need to open some things up, don't we? Right, so first up, what are we doing? I'm going to set all of these antenna, first of all, to allow partial, because I always forget to do that. So it requires complete, allows partial. There we go. Allow partial. Allow partial. Where's the other ones? Where did I put the other one? There you are. Because you always miss one. If you miss one, that's the one that it uses. I don't know if it's coded to do that. It just feels like it does. All right. Okay, so let's first of all, let's move some people around. So we're going to move some crew. We're going to, where's the button? Transfer crew. I want to move Heisenberg into there. Wonderful. Right, we're going to conduct a material study, and we're going to science it, and then we're going to. You know what? I don't need to crawl out, do I? Because it can actually do it from the craft. It's wonderful. We get 740 data from that, and then we're going to get do that. Get 30 from that, and then we're going to do that. We're going to run that one. Here we go. Come on. Thank you very much. That'd be wonderful if you could just get on with this. I'll have the 170 data for that, please. And we'll have that one as well. We're going to log that. We get 45 data. 9 data stored. I'm pretty sure I did 45. Give me that back. Right. Clean my experiments. While they're cleaning, where's my thingy again? I want this one. So let me just run this again, because there was something else that came up there. I wonder if there's something I can transmit. Let's have a look. Oh, recovery gets me something. Okay, so it gets me like 4 science. I don't really care about that. I can do crew report. Crew report. Here we go. Give me some science. So that 4 data stored. Okay. You could do an EVA. That's a good idea. You could do an EVA. I don't know why you popped out like that. EVA report. We'll keep that. Then we're going to board. Then can I look at the stored, review the data? Oh yeah, it gives me some more points. There we go. Right, what's my stored data like now? Have I only got 86? Surely one of these gave me a load. Run that. How much did that give me? It's not going to tell me now, does it? But I thought it said it had like 120. Or is that the science that I get back from it? Okay. Maybe that's the science I get back. So it's not as much as I was thinking. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that we have? Ooh, we'll go under the pool. We'll go around the pools, because I know that we'll definitely get something there. We'll definitely get an EVA report that's different there, because we don't. Oh, there's some stuff going past. Don't know what that is. Where was that? Hello. Yeah, I mean, we're going polar just so I can do this, but I'm not going to sit and go round and round and round and round in circles all the time. So we're just going to, we literally go, oh, there we go. There's the pool. Can I just pop out? You can go EVA, yeah. And cause the entire craft to, you're above the water still. Okay, board. It's interesting how the entire thing just squirrels whenever you get out of it. Now, it has a pilot on board. You are the engineer, so why is it losing control? The force of a person, a Kerbal, a force of a person Kerbal getting out should not be enough to cause an entire craft to jerk around like that. I consider that to be, right, here we are. Right, so we're gonna keep that. We're going to store the experiment. I'm going to board, actually. I don't know what I'm doing. And then we're going to, first of all, I'm going to transmit that. Oh, actually, no, we'll put it in the lab first. We'll put it in the lab. Then we'll get you out again. Right? And then you can do your EVA again. ELU. And then you can transmit that. There's no comms device. Well, you could store the experiment then. There you go. And then you could board. There we go. And then can we transmit that now? Now we can transmit. Yeah, we go. See, it was showing for the Kerbal that they actually had signal, which is quite interesting. Right, let's have a look. Have we got any science? Then we got a little bit of science out of it. So the Kerbal will continue to do what we're going to get, 0.6 science a day. Well, people, I think you are going to be up there a while, if I'm entirely honest with you. But, okay, not a problem. As long as you've got electricity and stuff, things. I'm actually going to disengage this. Shut down the engine. And I think you should be fine. You've got plenty to do. What we will do is we're just going to extend one of these. I could extend all of them. Yeah, extend all of them. We're not losing anything. I don't think it's gonna drain us of battery or anything like that. If it does, then it does. I want to start the lab because that would be the good idea. There we go. We've now started the lab. So the lab will eat battery. That is one thing I'm aware of. And then it will shut down. Can I just, let's have a look. That's terrible. I need to actually position the craft like, there you go. That's the one. Like that. There we go. That should get it to charge itself up a little bit. So we'll just have it like that. And then we're going to jump back to the space center. Right. So while that's doing its thing, and that'll just percolate in the background. That's going to take hundreds of days because it's going to be very slow. We've only got one scientist on board. If we'd had a three crew capsule, I would have probably sent 2 scientists. But I did want to send a pilot because, yeah, a craft like that, you just need some sort of control. I know we had a probe core on it, but I'm always paranoid of electricity and things and stuff. Right, let's have a look. Next, we've got lots of what's all this? Oh, lots of science points from things. Science point, science point, science point, science point, science point, science point, science point. Yeah, I get the idea. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. What is happening? What is occurring with our things? Joule. Okay, we're going to warp to that one, I think. Yeah, we're going to warp to the Joule departure. This should be an easy one. So getting to Joule sphere of influence should be pretty easy. I think it's sort of like going to Eve. I want to say it's sort of like going to Eve. It's like going to Duna. It's a little bit more, I think. In fact, it might be a lot more. I can't remember. But it's so big that it's actually hard to miss, which is a bonus. It's also got those moons around it, which are very ripe in the science. And it'll be interesting to see which ones we can encounter. We might do some hopping of Joule's moons and see what we can do. We're going to jump to the vessel. And I've got 6.5 minutes to get this thing towards Joule, which is cool. Joule is cool. Yeah, that rhymes. Of course, I think it will probably take longer to get there. I'm not entirely sure. If I'm honest, I am annoyed that I do not have the additional maneuver nodes and things like that. I'm gonna move this across. So we have 43 seconds until this thing is actually going to be departing. It's not going to be prograde though, is it? It's going to be slightly off prograde. Which you tend to find with these. The perfect departure burn is not normally prograde because you're actually trying to do some stuff with inclinations and slightly angling things. I would imagine a lot of these are calculated that aren't that optimal either. And of course you got to remember it's patch conics. It's not sort of n-body physics or anything like that. There we go. We're just going to pop you there. There we go. And we're going to do a little cheaty one of those. There we go. Pull that to there. Right. And then we can fire our engine. There we are. How wunderbar. Right. So we're going to Joule. I'm actually going to set Joule as a target because I think it disarms it. It deselects it. Joule set as target. There we go. So you can see we've got that interaction there, and then we get a secondary sort of cluster approach and all sorts of interesting stuff like that. It is out past res, so it will take us longer to get there. It's predicting, doesn't tell me how long. Geoperiap's time is 3 years. Okay, 3 years it says. It says 3 years. It's actually a decent push out there. This is a lot more delta V than, I've forgotten about the fact we've actually got to leave the sphere of influence. So I was thinking it was going to be like, 900, something like that, 1,000, 700, 600. I was trying to add it all up in my head, but actually, yeah, I forgot that we actually have to leave the sphere of influence to get there first. Which is the bit I always forget. Right, and then we'll just do that and a bit of this, and we can now get a bit more accurate because we have a bit more of a nimble craft. Of course, those other bits will end up flying out into interplanetary space. You can see that's the path of our other vessel, I believe, and this is this one here. So you can see the departure is significantly later. The interesting thing about this one, again, it's actually plotted us so we're going to go out past Joule and then come back towards it, which means, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be quite the interesting little flight, shall we say. I'm going to cut this when we're down to about 50. There we go. And then I can just manhandle it just a smidgen and get it just onto where I want it. And then we'll just do this again when we get down to like 20 or something like that. I'll just kill it. 10 would be fine. There you go. Right. You see there, we've got a bit of wobble factor in the craft, obviously. We should be, there we go. I think we've probably got an intercept already with this. And now it's a bit of playing around with it. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to just put a little tiny bit on. I'm not entirely sure how close we're going to get with this. There we go. Turn that off. And you can see we have, we've only got a closest approach. That's interesting. I was not expecting that. Focus view. Have I got, no, I actually do have one in 3 years. Why is there another closest approach then? When's this one? We get a second closest approach. That is interesting. So what this is showing is we're going to come out, we're going to interact with Joule, we're going to come back round, and then on our next orbit, we get another close approach. That's really cool. That is a nice, and I believe that's something to do with the resonance of Joule and stuff like that, because there's odd resonances in the system between things like ELU and Joule and things like that. So yeah. Right, can I do a little tiny? Oh, I can. That's going to just pull me in there, isn't it? Wonderful. Right, let's have a look. How close do I want to get and where do I want to be? We've got 2 minutes, so I can actually do a little bit of a refining of this. So let's jump back and let's do the burnout here, actually. Add maneuver. Right, and then no, that's not the wrong thing. I want to focus again on the Joule. You can probably hear my mouse scrolling like crazy to get to these things. Focus view. All right, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? I really want to be this way, which is the way we are coming in, which is good. So I want to be on this side. The node. I want to be looking at... that's the wrong one. That's too much. I want to come in a bit. I'd like to be in the plane of all the other stuff, actually. So if we could do a bit of plane maneuvering. I mean, what I'll probably give up. I would probably give up a little bit of stuff to be. You know what? I'm willing to come in at any angle. Not that angle. No, I'm willing to come in at any angle, but not that one. That's not the one I want to be in. It's big. I want to get close to it. To be fair, no, let's do that. Let's just stay with that. That's okay. Right. Let's see if we can get to that and warp it and get to it. And then we'll put that burn in. We'll see how we're doing. It's not much better than what we're actually at, if I'm honest. We'll play it by ear. So yeah, the aim here is I just want to get ideally within the sphere of lathe, because it's just going to be a more efficient capture burn. But the capture is going to be loose anyway, because we're going to potentially do a bit of what I would say planet hopping, shall we say, or moon hopping. I'd like to do some moon hopping, but we've got to get into the right orientations and things for that. And actually, you know what I've just realized I've not looked at? Where am I crossing the plane? So I want this to actually, I want my periaps to be down here somewhere. So I need to be thinking about that. So, yeah, that's not perfect. Right, so from me, until next time, have a great one.